Scouting Radio is a product of the Extreme Media Network. For advertising and sponsorship opportunities, please visit www.extrememedia.ie. That's XTREME media.ie. We surveyed, we listened, we responded. You told us how you wanted to listen and view Scouting Radio. Now you can see and view our content live and on demand. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Scouting Radio, and view our live shows, or YouTube, youtube.com/C/Scouting Radio Studios. Missed a show? Listen on demand. Search Scouting Radio in your favorite podcast store, or visit ondemand.scoutingradio.com to download the latest news on the Scout movement. Scouting Radio, listener-supported radio for the Scouting movement.
Oh yes, oh I've been waiting for this moment. Boys and girls, men and women, Scouts from around the world. It's been 4 years in the making, but I think we can now play this jingle.
Live from West Virginia, USA, the 2019 World Scout Jamboree on Scouting Radio.
It is the 18th of July and it's Justin Dawson from the Dublin, Ireland studios, and we will be linking up with West Virginia, USA later on today, listeners, because the international service team are arriving on the Summit Betchel Reserve, West Virginia, for the 24th World Scout Jamboree. 24th World Scout Jamboree, it's happening. But before we get to West Virginia, earlier on in the week, I caught up with David Bruschald and Michael Orr, who are packing their bags to tell you what to look forward to at the World Scout Jamboree. Have a listen to this.
The Scouting movement is listening. Unlock the 24th World Scout Jamboree with live audio, Facebook Live and YouTube Live, only on Scouting Radio.
David, great to have you on Scouting Radio again. We're into the absolute countdown to the World Scout Jamboree now, and I guess with you working with Boys Life at the Jamboree as well, I say things are heating up. I say you're in meetings nearly every day until you're actually on the campsite.
We have actually I'm doing a live. It's called live stream video,
Awesome.
And we're going to be doing like 2 newscasts a day, and then there'll be Model UN. We're going to cover that and the shows and other World Jamboree activities. So that's pretty exciting.
Now, I know Ed said he is, as leading up the IST team and the excursions off site, he's going to be on site now, I say, in the next week. When do you actually head out to the summit?
I get there on the 18th of July. So 2 weeks from now, I'll be there.
Oh, awesome. Now, I've seen so many messages and even different contingents and different troops that they have their little postal addresses to the Jamboree site. So there's Alpha. I think they are saying A, B, C, D and calling them in phonetic alphabet language, but they're also giving it names as to World Heritage sites as well, I heard.
That's true. Different parks and heritage sites around the world are naming the different subcamps. We're in, for the international service team, we're in E.
Okay.
And I can't pronounce the name of our little subcamp, but I think it's a park in Egypt.
Okay.
There's some country, in the Middle East.
So they're testing you on your language before you actually head off. You'll know that name of that campsite off by heart by the end of the 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. So for our planning, the group I'm in, this live stream video, we have had conference calls, and we have people in 9 different time zones. So we have people as far east as Poland and Italy, and I think there's someone, might be somebody in the African continent, but so we've had to coordinate like Saturday morning in the US, which is evening or like your time.
Mhm.
So
And,
that's been kind of interesting.
and so, as this Model UN idea, you're going to be talking to other scouts from Scouts Poland and other parts of the world then?
Yeah, there'll be scouts from all the different countries who have been selected as delegates,
Okay.
and every day in the late morning they will get together and they will go over world issues and have discussions. And we're going to be filming that and putting it on social media sites. Like there'll be a Facebook link, and I don't know if they're doing. They have like some chat thing that they're doing also.
Now, I know for the 2 years ago for the National Jamboree, we had yourself, Ed, and Scott up overlooking the Jamboree site. Will your little stage or with your little live stream viewing area, will you be situated in the same spot, or are you going to be in a different area with your subcamp?
I'm going to be in a different area. We're going to be down by, I don't know if you remember from the last, we were overlooking the stadium,
Mm-hmm.
looking down the hill on the stadium. So we're going to be off to the side of the stadium right by the lake,
Oh,
which is
awesome.
which is a very nice location.
Now, I know from talking to Ed a couple of weeks ago, I know that Scott had applied to the IST team, but he was still waiting to hear what role he was getting. Now, I know for the National Jamboree 2 years ago, Crazy Scott, he was the DJ at all these subcam
Yeah,
activities. Do you think Scott's going to be out there with his PA system rocking up every subcam
I
across?
don't know. We'll wait and see. Interesting, because we one of the ones we did took the music to was Subcamp F, and that had a lot of international scouts. So maybe he will be. I don't know.
Yeah. So you're going to be doing the live streams in that way and capacity too. But I guess as working with Boys Life, you're going to be doing a lot of articles and material for Boys Life as well that you're going to publish at a later stage.
Well, that will be the Boys Life staff. We're just like, with them as
Okay.
part of their thing, but we're a different subset.
Now I have to ask you, what is the one thing that you're really looking forward to, Dave, when you actually set foot at the World Scout Jamboree? You know,
Uh,
you've done the National Jamboree so many times. This is going to feel different.
yeah, I'm looking forward to the different food huts, having different foods from around the world. There's going to be 12 or 13 different food huts from different cultures. And one of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to go take a camera crew out to film them, either doing cooking and do some taste testing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Now, how many is going to be in your team? Are you leading up the team, or are you just
I'm not a leader. I'm just a producer. So I'll
okay?
be producing segments and putting together the flow of the show. So they're going to have a half-hour morning show or shoot that out on location,
Uh-huh.
and then an evening 7 o'clock show that'll be on a regular like news set.
Awesome.
The members of the Dream Team, and you remember from 2017 we interviewed a couple of the people from the Dream Team,
Of course, yeah.
and they are going to be our correspondents. So they will be the on-camera people that
Awesome.
you see. They'll be providing the news and information.
Now, of course, now you're going to be doing all this live, or are you going to actually edit it and produce it and then package it up and post it out?
It's going to be a combination. The morning they're going to go out live. They'll do interviews. They'll be on location. That'll be more live. But then the evening magazine show will be packaged, and they'll do different segments.
It's a lot to produce, present, and package up on a daily basis. So who's got that really hard job of editing all this down within the space of a few hours and getting it out online?
Well, we have a crew. We actually have a crew of 32 people, and there are videographers. There are videographers, and there are mixing people and sound people, and then there's a guy named Johan who's from Sweden, who is the actual executive producer. So it'll fall under him. And then there's a gentleman named Bob Black and Mike Lano who are heading up the team. And Mike Lano works for CBS television in the U.S.
So he's used to tight deadlines of getting
Yeah,
things.
he's our professional. He'll be cracking the whip and making sure we're all in line and meeting the deadlines.
Now, I know through Ed, the IST team are getting a load of outdoor excursions to different places in West Virginia. Are you going to have some time off to enjoy the whole Jamboree experience and get out and enjoy the activities?
Yeah, I went on the website and looked at the different activities they're going to do. So yeah, I'll have at least 1 or 2 days off to partake. They'll be going to different areas in southern West Virginia and taking people around on tour. And then there is an option to go to a minor league baseball game.
That's what I see. That's something that Ed was organizing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and one of them's near near where he lives.
Okay.
So I think Ed and I are probably gonna meet up at some point.
Yeah. So the amount of different badges, the amount of different neckers. Like Ed sent me a photo of his IST necker. What necker are you going to be wearing apart from the Scouting Radio one, of course?
Well, the other one we have, I don't know if he showed you the one from the U.S. contingent has like a blue one with a fleur-de-lis with kind of like American flag in it.
Yeah.
So I have that one.
The blue one. Okay.
And the overall name of our umbrella group is called Connected Experience. We have another one. That one's going to be yellow. Mm-hmm. And then I think we're supposed to get the IST one. I haven't gotten mine yet.
So you'll have a choice on a daily basis of which necker you're going to wear on the day.
Yeah, and they sent us three or four of the U.S. contingent ones, so I'll have a couple extra for swapping or trading.
Awesome. Now I have to say the people that have been actually contacting me through Scouting Radio and asking me, can I get an Irish contingent badge or can I get an Irish contingent necker? I hate to tell our listeners, I don't even have one myself because I'm not attending the World Jamboree. These are the Irish contingent are the most sought after neckers that are always at the Jamboree. Now, so
and actually, I'll tell you a funny story about the neckers. I this morning I went on the internet to download the instructions on how to tie the friendship knot because I've not done that before. So I think I did it correctly, but I think I did it backwards. But
okay, so usually when it is, it's a square knot. Let's see. Oh, there's.
I think it's on the inside. The knot's probably on the inside. So I didn't have it on when I did it, but I got the idea, so now I can figure it out.
David, I just see that Michael has popped into the chat. Hopefully, Michael, you can hear us. So, Michael, I know you have done several different jamborees, and we got together on social media as well to talk about the fact that you're going to the World Jamboree. But you've been around a bit around the world with scouting as well, haven't you?
Oh yes, I have. Like the Moot in Peru, and I just went to visit a scout group in Jamaica last year, and just went to a day trip in Canada. Of course, had to visit a scout shop to make it scout related, mm-hmm. and then just now I'm trying to go to Jam Cam in Brazil and then Euro Jam in Poland. Both going to be IST.
Can I ask you where are you getting the money and the funding for all these jamborees?
I got my first job.
So,
But back then, when I was still like young, and my mom would be like, "What do you want for Christmas or your birthday?" And I'd be like, "A vacation."
awesome. Can I ask you, Michael, what age are you now after doing all these jamborees?
What do I know after doing them all?
Well, what age are you now? Because it sounds like you've done a lot of jamborees so far, and by the look of your photo, you're still a young boy.
Well, I'm 22.
Oh, wow, and he's been to more global jamborees than I have, David.
Well, yeah, I just want to travel the world, and I love scouting, so it connects both of them.
So, is this your first time acting as a staff member at something this size and this magnitude?
Yes, this will be my first World Jamboree. I'll be staffing my first like event. I'll be staffing as an adult leader because in the U.S. we do not have Rover Scouts, although we are still allowed to go to moots in other countries.
Yeah, well, it's. I've heard of a couple of different associations that call their rovers, like Scout Association UK, even call their scouting active service and don't have rovers per se. So the rover move, and of course the rover move in 2021 is in Ireland. Are you going to try and get over to that?
Oh yes, I want to go there too.
Oh, I like this guy already.
Yeah.
So, Michael, you're on the social media team in Connected Experience. So, what have you been told? What social media outlet that you're going to have to look after?
All right, I'll be doing Facebook.
Okay, so David, on that basis, like you're talking about doing the live streams. Will the live streams be going through Facebook Live?
Yes, it will be. And I think we'll be working with Michael's team to upload our programs through Facebook.
Awesome. Now, Michael, I was asking David this earlier on. What are you when do you attend the World Jamboree? When do you actually set foot on the summit, and what are you looking forward to the most?
I arrive on the 18th because staff has to arrive a few days earlier.
So
But,
the same day as David as well.
Yeah, I arrive on the 18th.
Okay, and now have you done any National Scout Jamborees at the summit before?
Yes, the two of them. The first one ever in 2013 and 2017.
And now, as a different experience because of the World Jamboree, what areas are you looking forward to the most?
Well, everything, I guess. The cultural stuff and all the world religions, the food tents, just everybody seeing each other, and trading as well. So that way you get to meet people from other countries and you get a souvenir from that country. So you get a taste of their country while here.
Actually, you bring up a nice point there, Michael, and I'll ask David as well after you answer this. I noticed that a lot of the trading, now, I know even on the National Scout Jamboree basis in the summit, there's sort of a give and take of if you're trading and you're an adult, trade with an adult, don't trade with a youth member.
Yes.
It seems though now as we go to the World Scout Jamboree, a lot of the trading has taken place already. Like I know some of the.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's been going on.
Yeah, like you look at some. We're talking social media here, and
yeah, you should see the Brits.
Yeah, there's something like 50 or 60 different badges.
Yeah, there's 100 altogether.
100 altogether. Okay,
there's 100 units, and then their contingent badge with T-Bear on it, and then there's the Scotland has their own set.
Yeah, and all the different all the different like units within there have their own badges as well, I think.
Yeah, like Mexico has a big set.
Yeah.
But the point is, it sounds like people are trying to get their hands on these sets before they go to the Jamboree. And a part of me goes, yeah, that's really clever, because it means that if you can get them beforehand, you're not going to have this risk of losing the badges at the Jamboree, or worse still, and we experienced it at the national Jamborees, as some of our listeners commented, and I'm sure David and Michael, you've heard of these experiences, which is not scouting, where badges have been stolen out of people's tents.
Oh yeah, there was even this bridge that was there. Okay, the summit has a big bridge that a lot of kids like to trade under. Like they even have nicknames for them. Like because okay, so there's the bridge of the summit. Then under the bridge where everybody trades, they nickname it the Black Market. And then the bridge also has some like creases behind it, so some patches have actually fallen through them, and some scouts wait under the bridge to collect them, and they call that part the dark web.
Oh, wow.
David, have you ever heard that?
I was not observing that part of the site. I was more down by where the lake is, and you see just all along the path people have put their badges out, and people are walking by and doing their trades.
I know it's important to some people, and people enjoy collecting them, but I think there is room for what's happened with the World Jamboree set, where scouts are collecting them beforehand, which means that they can go off and enjoy the activities of what the World Jamboree should be all about. They shouldn't be sitting, in my view, they shouldn't be sitting there for an hour or 2 hours on end trying to swap badges when there's so many activities going on at the Jamboree.
Well, a lot of that has come about because of social media. People have put messages up on Facebook, and there's Jambo Chat and a number of other platforms where people are saying, "Hey, I have this badge. Who wants the?" You see all those messages. I like to meet somebody from a different country. Private message me. So there's a lot of that before even the event starts. There's a lot of buzz going on.
Now, as part of the Connected Experience team, David and Michael, I'll send this to David first. The World Scout Jamboree app, is that live now for all the contingent team?
Yes.
And I believe someone actually told me that to share information with someone you meet at the Jamboree, you just, as simple as tap it against.
Oh yes, the Novus bracelets.
Yeah. There's going to be an electronic bracelet called Novus, and it's going to be a site-wide game, but it's also a way to track how you meet people and where people are. And I think you can tap on it and get somebody's contact information.
Yeah, kind of like it'll say your name, and you can put in like your social media and such, so that way it won't have to be a hassle like writing it down on paper. It'll be just a tap, and then it's right there.
And there's going to be different colored ones, like the IST I think are purple, participants are green, and then contingent management and scout leaders is a different color.
The official app is going to be able to tell the queuing times to different activities. So if you notice that there is a long queue at one of the sites or one of the activities, it will flag up as a green, yet orange, red type of system, and you can go off to.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like the fast passes at Disney.
That's the fast passes, and so. Have you got your Novus bracelet yet, or?
Oh, no. We get them once we arrive.
Okay, that's Now, I have been trying to keep track of all the contingent gear that has been given to different contingents between okay, obviously the necker and the uniform and the badges, but some contingents have really really neat rucksacks, and I see a lot of your rucksacks or your backpacks for the US contingent are sponsored by Osprey, which are really nice bags.
They are. They're big and they carry a good amount of stuff. So it's like, but for me, I probably carry more things to trade than things I need for Jamboree. That's how big of a trader I am. So that's
Yeah,
what
so
my leaders joked about.
What do you think, David?
there, they sent us the big duffel bag that is huge. I mean, you can fit so much stuff in it. So if you are, like Michael said, bringing a lot of materials to trade, there is plenty of room. And then the day pack is the Osprey pack, and it's pretty large. I mean, it's got a lot of room in it, and it's really really nice.
I was talking to David there and just commenting that the Scouting Ireland contingent have some really nice badges as well. And people have been contacting me through Scouting Radio and saying, can you get us an Irish contingent badge? And I don't even have one Scouting Ireland contingent badge, unfortunately, because I'm not attending the Jamboree personally, but people have been asking me about, and most sought after necker, both in Sweden at the World Jamboree and at Japan, was the Scouting Ireland neckerchief. And I say the most sought after neckerchief at the 24th World Scout Jamboree is going to be the Irish neckerchief. Have you ever got your hands on one of the Irish neckerchiefs?
I don't think I have a neckerchief from Ireland yet, other than the one you sent me for Scouting Radio.
Awesome. Yes, that's a well sorted, and that's not for trading, I have to add.
It's the only one I have. I only trade duplicates.
Okay, you only trade duplicates. That's fair enough. But what badges are you going to be really looking out for when you get there?
Well, yeah, badges. It's such a broad topic, but I'm like the main contingent badges of some sorts, and like for UK and Northern Ireland, I like to collect the district and county badges.
Okay. Well, I hope just after the Jamboree that I'm able to send over some badges from Ireland to you, even if they're not the World Jamboree badges. I'll get something your way. But definitely, I really hope you're going to come to the World Scout Moot in 2021, because it's
I'll be there.
not only is it going to be all over Ireland, but the last location for the World Scout Moot is going to be in Malahide Castle in County Dublin, and that's literally about 20-minute drive from my house. So that's why I had to get involved as a team member at the
Moot is in a castle.
Yeah, the last.
Oh man, this will be interesting.
The last location is going to be at Malahide Castle, and they're going to camp the night at Malahide Castle. And I say that we do have during the summer a lot of music festivals there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have a couple of tricks up their sleeves. I haven't been privy to the information, but I'm still working on that. Now, guys, I still think that Ed Evans might be the one that we will find the information out of. But what could actually take place on the opening ceremony of the World Scout Jamboree here in the summit?
Well, I think there's got to be like people from their country like waving their flags or anything that represents their country, so that way they can be seen on the screen at the summit stage. Because they do have the audience camera that shows all around, and people try and get crazy to see if the camera shines on them.
Now, and previously at the 2013 and 2017 National Jamborees, there are people sent text messages, and they put those up on the screen.
Oh yeah, the Twitter shout-outs.
Yeah.
Now, David, of course, like you are going to be working with the live stream team. Will you be involved in doing the opening and closing ceremonies?
Well, we'll be filming that, and we'll be providing the live feed, and that'll probably go on Facebook Live and a couple other platforms, so that could go worldwide, and that's something you'll be able to see. Maybe you can stream that out from your platform as well.
Of course, no, we look forward to doing that. Michael, are you going to get any time off? I know David is talking about going to a baseball game. What are you going to do on your days off?
Days off during Jamboree?
Mm-hmm.
Walk around and try and meet my friends for the first time that are scouts.
One of the things that's going to be happening, there's World Point. Every day there are going to be performances at on the main stage at the stadium from different countries, and that's one of the things we're going to be looking at. But you can get to meet all the different people. They'll be in regional costume, and it'll be pretty interesting to see.
Now, I'm going to be controversial, politically controversial, and say, do we expect Donald Trump, the President of the United States, to appear at the opening ceremony or during the week?
I hope not.
Yeah, neither do I. And
we've had two comments on that, and we could really, but
when he came last time, the BSA had to send an apology letter out to all the participants because of how Trump misbehaved.
That's true.
We even reported on it at the time, David, as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. With the fact that it's the world, movement of scouting that is operating the Jamboree, I don't know that they would invite him. I don't know how that works, but the event is sponsored by the Boy Scouts of America, Scouts Mexico, and Scouts Canada. So could be, one of the leaders of those countries that would be at the opening.
This is true.
If it was Justin Trudeau, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for that too.
Or if they invited Obama, that'd be awesome as well.
Yeah.
Well, it could actually be interesting and controversial if they brought a former president over to launch it. But it's just what David said. It's hosted by 3 different contingents: Mexico, Canada, and the United States. Even though it's happening in the US of A, they would have to bring the 3 presidents together. Maybe it's just going to be simply the chair of the World Scout movement, or do you know who would be cool? If Bear Grylls opened it.
Oh yeah, it's actually rumored that he'll come.
Is it rumored that he'd come? Okay, David, have you any comment on this?
Who is this again?
Bear Grylls.
He's the chief scout executive of the world.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be there. That would be great.
Yeah, he had mentioned something about it in one of his videos when he made up this challenge, Make It Happen challenge.
Interesting. The plot thickens. Will Bear Grylls come in on a helicopter to the World Scout Jamboree? It could easily happen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If he does, I hope to get a selfie with him.
In 2013, it was Clay. I can't remember her. Jill Clay, who is the granddaughter of Baden Powell, was there, but she is going to be at some scouting event in, I think, Czechoslovakia. So I don't think she'll be attending, although that would be great if she came again.
Of course, there's Michael Baden Powell, which is Baden Powell's grandson. He might appear, and he's still heavily involved in Scouts Australia, so that might be.
Yeah.
There you have it, Michael Orr and David. They're at the World Scout Jamboree site. Some photos to show you, but while I'm showing you the photos that are coming into Scouting Radio from contingents attending the World Scout Jamboree, have a listen while we show you some photos to the song that's going to be the anthem to the 24th World Scout Jamboree. Have a listen.
We're together, we're gathered here in West Virginia. You're all invited, and And I'm glad to see we're all excited. We've raised our money, and it's all so nice and sunny. We're making friends, and I hope that this will never end. People you can meet, and lots of things to see. Unlock a brand new world at the Jamboree. You're all arriving, and the sun out here is shining. There's no signs of stopping, and the badges are already swapping. There's smiling faces, and we'll visit many different places. There is lots of hiking, but don't worry 'cause there's mountain biking. Personnes à rencontrer et choses à faire. Découvrir un nouveau monde à la Jamboree. $40,000 scouts, and I don't have any doubts that no one could be bored with all this to explore. There's lots of things to do, and it's all up to you. You could sit down by the fire, it is so nice to admire. Gente que conocer y muchas casas que ver. Encontramos un mundo a la Jamboree. Each unit has a new and unique name, and if there's mischief then the leaders are to blame. It's one of the world's biggest scouting events, and as you can tell it's about to get intense. Get it? 'Cause it's staying intense. People you can meet, and lots of things to see. Unlock a brand new world at the Jamboree. Unlock a brand new world. Unlock a brand new world. Unlock a brand new world at the Jamboree.
There you have it, the anthem to the 24th World Scout Jamboree.
Live from West Virginia, USA, the 2019 World Scout Jamboree on Scouting Radio.
We're going to be live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and you can find out all the details and listen back to shows from our official website, www.scoutingradio.com. Broadcasting since 2005 on our official website, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on YouTube, whether you're listening in as a podcast on iHeartRadio or any of the official app programs. We're on downloadable on iTunes, we're on Android devices. All our details is on our website, www.scoutingradio.com, and it's the 24th World Scout Jamboree on Scouting Radio. There's other jamborees happening around the world, and we're going to be bringing you up to date on that as well. But for now, it's the 24th World Scout Jamboree, and if you want to get in contact with Scouting Radio, you can do so by email, studio@scoutingradio.com. You can Twitter us at Scouting Radio. You can use the hashtag Scouting Radio, and of course, follow us on Facebook. You can see the messages coming up and comments coming up on our Facebook Live post, and we're also on Twitter Live and also on demand. You can look back on the programs on YouTube, youtube.com/c/Scouting Radio Studio. Now, it's Justin Dawson with you. Now, Australia have arrived, and have a look at the photos here of Australia at the coming in to America. It's just a sea of yellow and green, and some of the Brazilian scouts, well, they were getting a bit yellow and green, but yellow and green also the contingent colours for Australia, and they also were at a university setting, and I do believe they're going to be listening to mission control as well, for the space stations as well. So have a look at these videos that the Australian contingent have made.
So we're on the plane. It's been a long 14 hours. We're now 45 minutes out of Dallas. Very excited to all land and get off the plane and then jump on our connecting flights to Washington DC. Some of us are off to Chicago, others to Atlanta, and then there's the lucky ones that get to go to Washington DC.
We're getting so many hits when we're ready now.
Good morning, Australia. We're at the Washington University in Washington. It's just turned 9 a.m. and we're just about to start the contingent briefing. After this, we're going into Washington and splitting up into our troops and just wandering around, looking at the scenery. We're here for a few days, so we're going to check it out. So it's really going to be really good.
Many of us arrived at this university at multiple different times. Like I arrived at midnight, you arrived at 1 or 2 in the morning.
We lost our luggage. They got on 4 hours sleep. Yeah, we some of our luggage got on the wrong. Some of our luggage got on the wrong plane, and now we don't have it until this afternoon. Like it's on its way, but it's a bit hot. It's like 26 degrees.
It's like really sticky, humid.
It's going to get up to 32 degrees apparently.
And humid.
Tomorrow's like 37 degrees.
Love it.
Keep tuned to Scouting Radio because we will be bringing you up-to-date news and information from the Summit Betchel Reserve, where we have nearly about 11 reporters on the ground at the World Jamboree. And if you are a parent and want to send messages back to your scout who is at the World Scout Jamboree, you can send them into Scouting Radio. You can Skype Scouting Radio, all one word. You can send us messages by Facebook. You can send us messages by email, studio@scoutingradio.com, and all the information on our official website, www.scoutingradio.com.
The scouting movement is listening. Unlock the 24th World Scout Jamboree with live audio, Facebook Live and YouTube Live, only on Scouting Radio. Scouting Radio is a product of the Extreme Media Network. For advertising and sponsorship opportunities, please visit www.extrememedia.ie. That's XTREME media.ie.